This is day 50 of communication practice with ChatGPT. Good afternoon, ChatGPT.
Good afternoon. How's your day going so far?
This Sunday is like um, it's not the most productive day in my life, but still I'm trying to make up to it. Anyway, today I want to practice culture fit interview or behavior interview. Can you help me with that?
Of course, I'd be happy to help. We can go through some common culture fit or behavioral questions and you can practice your responses. After each answer, I'll give you feedback. Does that sound good? Or do you
Sound,
have specific?
Sounds lovely.
Great, let's start with a common one. Can you describe a time when you had a conflict with a colleague and how you resolved it? Take your time to think it through and respond whenever you're ready.
Actually, I encounter this question a lot of time, but I don't think my story would be convincing. Can you give me some example?
Absolutely. A strong response usually follows the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result. For example, you could say, "At my previous job, I had a disagreement with a colleague over the prioritization of tasks for a project. We both felt strongly about our approaches. My task was to ensure we met the project deadline without compromising quality. I suggested we sit down and list out the pros and cons of each approach and bring in a third team member for an objective opinion. This not only helped us choose the best approach, but also strengthened our collaboration. In the end, we met our deadline and delivered a high quality product." Does that give you a clearer idea of how to structure your answer?
I know how to structure my answer, but the content in it, your example is okay, but I need something more convincing and personal.
Got it. For a more personal and convincing example, think of a real situation where you had a disagreement or conflict at work. Maybe it was about resource allocation, a project deadline, or a difference in communication styles. Highlight what the situation was, what steps you took to understand the other person's perspective, how you communicated your own viewpoint, and the positive outcome. Adding specifics like the type of project or the role you played can make it more relatable and convincing. If you have a scenario in mind, we can refine it together.
Can you give me an Can you give me your example if you were to answer this question?
Sure, if I were to answer this question, I'd say something like this. In a previous role, I worked on a team where a colleague and I disagreed on how to allocate resources for a major project. The situation was tense because we were under a tight deadline. My task was to ensure we used our limited resources efficiently. I initiated a meeting where we both presented our viewpoints and the data supporting them. I listened carefully to my colleagues' concerns and found a compromise that balanced both our priorities. The result was that we stayed on track, met our deadline, and improved our working relationship. This experience taught me the importance of open communication and finding common ground in conflicts. Would something like that work for you, with your own details and experiences?
Okay, I think it's fair. For me, if I were to answer this question, I might have to prepare beforehand so that my answer is clear. Can I have some minutes to think about this?
Of course, take your time. Let me know when you're ready to share your answer and we can go from there.
Okay, please evaluate this answer. Um, so there was a time my team has only 3 people, and my tech lead is out of office for a vacation, and there was only 2 of us handling the task for uh, for the whole sprint. And the thing is, the guy is quite lazy and um, didn't do much, so I have to take over. I have to do the most of the work, and uh, and after my and I did try to talk with the guy one on one, and share my thoughts about how we can collaborate with each other to make this more efficient. And the guy didn't want to listen. He leave early and he didn't do much work even if I asked him to do. So after my tech lead come back, I have a thought with him that the way we're running the team might not be efficient, since it's like data skill in big data processing problem, since the data since the work is centralized at my end, and it can become a bottleneck. So I think we should work as a team and chunk the work into partitions so that we all can do it in parallel. So the work is handled more properly. But my tech lead have shared his point of view about this. Like, he talked with the guy a lot, and the guy didn't even listen with whichever way of talking my tech lead had done. So essentially, um, after that happened, I get a recognition for outstanding developer in Q1, and the guy later I noticed he want to leave. He want to uh, he want to leave our company. So that's one conflict, and one I'm trying to do the result, but it didn't went well for the conflict to be resolved. But the job is secured by and the lesson that I learned is not everyone have the same thought as you. Not everyone think about the team, or think about or have the same idea with you. So what you did is that to you try your best to give him his point of view and understand his point of view on the same problem. But if you can't change it, talk to a third person, talk to the lead, and uh, to to think of a way to handle this. And after all the thing is done, I also raise it on the retrospective, so that we can understand each other and know how to work with who. So that's what I did.
Your answer covers a real life scenario and shows your effort to address the conflict. Here's some feedback to refine it. 1. Clarity and structure. You have a solid structure, but you can tighten it up. Start with the situation briefly, emphasize your actions, and conclude with the outcome and lesson learned. 2. Action and result. Highlight the actions you took more clearly. For example, you tried to have a one-on-one discussion and then escalated the issue. Also, mention the recognition you received and how it impacted the team dynamic. 3. Lesson learned. You did a good job summarizing the lesson. Emphasize that you learned the importance of understanding different perspectives and knowing when to escalate issues. Overall, it's a relatable and honest example. With a bit of fine tuning, it'll be even stronger.
Okay, I got it. I'm ready for the next question.
Awesome. Here's another common one. Can you tell me about a time you had to quickly adapt to a significant change at work? How did you handle it? Whenever you're ready, go ahead and share your response.
Okay, let's say when I am new to a team, uh, and I want to adapt as soon as possible, as fast as possible. Here, what I would approach. First, I would want to know the way of working in the team. By that, I want to know who do what is their role and responsibility. For example, in my current team, we are an agile squad, and they are PO, they are tech lead, there's some tester and developer, so and a BA. So one who is the PO, who is the tech lead, and who is other roles, and what is their responsibility for running this team. By knowing that, I will know who to ask what, because as I first join to a team, there might be some question that I want to ask the right people. Second, after knowing the way who do what, I would ask them first about how about the process, what we would work here, how we would work here, like uh, BA will talk with the business and give us some requirement, and we are the developer work on that requirement and transfer those into the technical job. Tester will work on the job, and then um, we will release those feature by some time period, and all of that is um, coordinated by the BPO. For example, it's a process. I want to know that process so that I would know where am I in the middle of the team, uh, and how to know exactly how I can contribute to the team. Um, so that's the first thing. Second, I would want to know for my role. Certainly is a developer, so I want to know um, the the work,
Your
the what is the my actual work, daily work, and uh, and what is the, let's say, repositories or the document or the text, like anything that I would work with. I would want to get into those resources as soon as possible, and would try to install the environment and do some running on those, so that I get a quick grasp of a big picture of the architecture, and also the detailed work that I would want to do in my current role to make it make it tangible and impacted with my work. And when I know the big picture, the detailed work is more straightforward here. For example, if we want to implement a model, or if we want to raise the conversion rate of this, I by knowing the business, I would know how to improve it by learning the technical and adapt that technical with our current tech stack technology. What would that will be what I would do.
That's a solid response. You clearly outlined your approach to adapting quickly to a new team. You emphasized understanding roles and responsibilities, learning the processes, and getting hands on with the technical environment. One suggestion to strengthen it further is to give a specific example of a time you did this. For instance, mentioning a particular project or challenge you faced right after joining the team would make it more concrete. Overall, you've shown a thoughtful and proactive mindset, which is great.
Okay, I would want to give an example about this. For example, I used to work on foundational team, and at the team, we would be the ones to build the framework. So essentially, we don't have um, we don't have the PO, the product. We don't have the BA or the tester. Our tech lead is acting PO, and we receive requirements from the tech lead, and we build the the framework, and we also do the testing and uh, understanding the requirements on our own. And by doing that, is we are not we have somewhat kind of loose um, timeline. It's not it's not so tight. But when I move to a delivery team, we essentially working with the business function like a retail customer group or a corporate customer group. We work with those, and we work in a project, and we have committed timeline because we work in um, so and the team now is more dynamic. Now we have a PO which is really understand about the product, about the business. We have BA to do the analysis requirement, and we would be more focused on developing the ETL job that serve the business requirement and serve it correctly, accurately. And so, and we also have some kind of uh, sprint sprint based time manner for us to lean on and do our commitment. So when I first transitioned from the foundational team to the delivery team, there is some you know uncan what to say it. I mean, it's more a fast-paced environment, and I have to collaborate with more people and more news perspective. And so what I did was just like I said to you, I merge myself in that environment. I know who do what. Would know the I would want to know the process of the team so that I can follow them, and I would make myself useful and uh, move the team more efficiently, be a part of a team, and contribute to those as fast as possible.
That example really brings your experience to life. You clearly showed how you adapted from a more flexible, foundational team environment to a fast paced, structured delivery team. Highlighting how you immersed yourself in the new environment, learned the processes, and aligned with the team's goals gives a great picture of your adaptability and proactive mindset. This example also demonstrates your ability to handle change and quickly become an effective contributor. Great job.
Yes, but I am still think I am not fluent and concise in giving my answer. I kind of move bit around the bush here.
I get what you mean. It's normal to feel that way when you're practicing. The good news is that with more practice, you'll become more fluent and concise. One way to do that is to break down your answer into three clear parts: the situation, the action, and the result. Keeping each part focused helps you stay on track and avoid unnecessary details. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. You're already doing great, and you'll get even better with time.
Thank you. I'm ready for the last question.
You're welcome. Let's go for the last one. Describe a situation where you went above and beyond your regular responsibilities. What motivated you and what was the outcome? Take your time and then share your response whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Take your time and let me know when you're ready to share.
Okay. So the things happen when I moved during my transition from the foundational team to the delivery team. Um, when I moved myself to a new team, there was some problem with there were actually a major incident in the data lake. The the data ingestion is faulty, and for the data sort to be wrong for about 4 days, all the downstream data, all the I I believe nearly 1,000 data pipeline downstream is also convey for data, I mean false data, and so by that we essentially formed a task force to resolve it because it was too big. And as my and I was in I was in the new team, so I didn't have much responsibility at the team yet. So I volunteered to join the task force to handle those for them. And there was, and it's really a 3 week with very high intense. I slept at the company, I eat at the company, I make myself useful and do and brainstorm the ideas and do the dirty work to make the data lake clean again. So that is not um, what what noted in my um, in my job description, but I believe is so. What I did was I set my mindset that not uh, this is not you know very negative thing. Is uh, it incident happened, but now it's time for us to resolve it and make it work as a team, as the as a company. So that what I did.
That's a fantastic example. You clearly illustrated how you stepped up during a critical incident, even though it wasn't part of your regular responsibilities. Highlighting how you volunteered to join the task force, worked long hours, and contributed to resolving the data lake issue shows your dedication and teamwork. It also demonstrates your problem-solving mindset and your willingness to go the extra mile. Great job tying it all together.
Okay, thank you very much. I think it's time to say goodbye today.
You're welcome. It was great practicing with you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll chat again soon. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.